Wow, welcome to this Pajama Bosses interview series. And today I have a special surprise for you. Here is an up-and-coming star, a true pajama boss, Paolo Bragato. And Paolo has such an incredible story. He lives in Brisbane, Australia, which is where I got to meet him together with his wonderful team. And he's from Italy. And so many things to share, but I'm really proud of Paolo because in just a very short amount of time, he has truly created some real results in his network marketing business. So welcome, Paolo. How are you doing today?
Hi, very, very good. Thank you so much, Masha. Thank you to have me here.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy to feature your story in this Pajama Bosses series because I think a lot of people get very inspired. So let's get right into it. I want to first ask you, when you got started in our industry, what was your motivation to become a pajama boss? Was there any specific circumstances in your life that really gave you the ambition and drive to want to be a pajama boss?
The first time I get involved in network marketing, I went involved for a product that really changed my health. But when I started the business, I just was a product user, so I wasn't really focused on the business. But one day I was working, because I used to be a chef, I was working in the kitchen and I saw one of the chefs working with me having a big fight with the boss of the restaurant. I really asked myself, is that the kind of life that I really want for myself? Is that the future that I want for myself and my family? And the answer obviously was no. And so I looked back and I contacted my sponsor and I said, listen, I believe now it's time for me to start. How can I do that? And that was really the point that changed my life. Because really, since that point, a lot of things change and a lot of things are happening that would not happen if I was be in the kitchen.
Well, fantastic. And I can hear that, you're Y generation, you're driven, you had a career path where you were already successful, but you saw that it wasn't a lifestyle that you really wanted. And so, network marketing sort of came to find you and then you really engaged. So once you engaged, Paolo, what was the true first turning point in your journey? What is it that really clicked? What was that aha moment that you said, now I really get it? What was that first taste of success that you had?
So the moment I really say, okay, I get it, is the moment that I start stopping to say, yeah, I know how these things works. And I start asking questions to the people that already having success. And for the first time, I listened to my sponsor and my upline. They asked me to catch a plane and go to Italy to go to a big event. And it was a big commitment because it's 24-hour flight and a lot of money for the flight, money for the event. But the moment I sit down at the event, I really say, yeah, thank you. I look at my sponsor and say, thank you. Now I can understand why I'm here. And that moment was the biggest turnaround at the beginning of my career.
Wow, so I guess it's really staying teachable. A lot of us think that, we're learning, and it's sometimes a year or two into our success journey. We're already learning some things and we think we know, but I really love what you said. You're really humble. You stopped thinking that you know, and you really listened and, listened to people who already got results. I really love that. And so, now you're really excited to be a pajama boss. Well, what is it that really excites you being a professional network marketer? What's the best thing about being a pajama boss?
The best things is really, I can say that I own my time. And that for me is the most important things. Because money are important, but you can have money, you can lose money, you can get money back straight away. But the second that just passed, I can never get back. So for me, it's all about time. Time for myself, time for my family, time for work. I can choose, and that's the most beautiful things that have happened in my life.
Wow, I can just hear in your words, you've tasted that freedom. You're starting to taste how wonderful it is to be, your own boss, your own pajama boss, and your free time of doing and spending it with whoever you want. That's really wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about, setbacks and failures and mistakes, because I'm sure just like anyone else, just like myself and all the rest of pajama bosses, you had times when you were ready to give it all up. And so would you be able to share one of your biggest mistakes or setbacks? And what did you do to bounce back? What happened?
The biggest mistake that I did is using the word I know that. Every time I say I'm is the moment that I go backwards, like 7, 8 steps backwards instead to go one forward. And the biggest challenge for me was to put aside my pride and start listening. Being coachable was the hardest thing for me. And it took me more than a year to get to the point that I say, okay, people that are success probably know a little bit more than me because I'm very small, I can't grow, so there is something wrong in this, even if I know everything. Because the reason why I was really just listening to people that get success and take their advice as something that can really change my life, and that's actually what is happening. Listening and say yes and put in practice what people suggest you to do, because upline and mentor interests are only to get you to where you want to be. So it's not their interest, it's your interest. They put your interest in front of everything else, and that's where something that I'm not used to, because normal life is not like that.
That's really interesting, Paolo, and I see a lot of myself in what you said too. What do you think is it in our upbringing, or perhaps in our personalities as human beings, or what is it that make us want to say, I already know? Is it something that, culturally we're taught to think that we need to appear that we're better than we are? Or what is it for you, for example? Why do you think initially you were not as coachable as later on when you kind of owned up to your results and look in the mirror and said, you know what, my results are not exactly what I want them to be, so why don't I just say I don't know?
Probably it's my background coming from an area in Italy where people are more interested in what you look like than what you really are. Living in that environment, almost 20 plus years of my life, you learn from where you are. So even if my parents have been amazing, they really give me the value of what money come from and how it's hard to work to get the money. But at the same time, when you spend more of the time outside your house and spending with people that are more interested in what you look like and what you are, even if they don't have money for fuel in the car, that's what you learn. Because one of my mentors told me that you become the results of the 5 people you spend most time with, and my parents is now the 5 people I spend more time with. So that's probably what I think the reason is for that.
I really appreciate this, Paolo. I mean, these are some quite personal questions, but the reason I'm digging in is because it happens to all of us, and I think really owning those results and looking ourselves in the mirror and say, I want more, and maybe it's a question of being more real and being who I am and just really starting from scratch and learning something new. So I so appreciate you for sharing that. I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And the other thing that I get asked a lot is, when you're having a bad day, I'm sure you had some of those building your network marketing business. We have bad days, we get disappointed, frustrated, we get, sometimes feeling like we're not doing the right thing, we feel like people are not doing the right thing to us. What is your internal dialogue? What gets you through that day, and what keeps you going? What keeps you so motivated, so persistent, knowing that, there's a vision for you out there, there's an end in mind? What is your internal dialogue with yourself?
Usually my internal dialogue in the bad days is I try to remember and tell myself all the affirmation that I usually say in the morning, because I have a series of affirmation every morning I say. So I just try to remember in that, and if I can't really get out on that, usually I take the phone and I call my upline, because speaks with someone that is bigger than you in this business. Always open your mind and your heart to the positive, in a positive way. And so even if my upline are in Italy, I always found a way to get in contact with them. And it's probably the number one thing. When you have a bad day, just always look up and smile and talk to people that are above you, because they've been through before, so they know how to make you smile again.
Totally. And can you share some of those affirmations? Because I think these may be some things that will resonate with some people. What is it that you say to yourself in the morning?
There's a few that I get through all the personal development I did. Like this one is come from Master Your Mind Declaration. Say, I live with joy and purpose and passion. I'm a positive and optimistic. I appreciate everything I have. I choose to be happy right now. This is few of the affirmation that and one that I really like, it's say, is this one, they say, I have an important knowledge and experience to share. That's one of my favorites.
Fantastic. So you always go back to that, how you're waking up in that really laser focused mindset that's not going to allow for any lack and limitation. And I love how you say, I just reach out to my mentors, even if they're, halfway around the world, perhaps even asleep. That's so important because I think, those people can really give you the belief that in those moments of doubt and self-doubt we really need. So I love that. So spot on. I mean, I have, I'm starting to see why you're getting so far in your business because you've really started to implement some of the things you've been learning. So, and you've been talking about your mentors, you can choose any of them. What was the best advice you ever got from any of them? And how do you still apply it? Or is there, a story when a mentor shared with you something that you can remember?
It's actually one of the most important, actually, I get last month, because probably one of the most important mentors I have came here to Australia to work with me. And the things that really stay in my mind, is bouncing in my mind consistently, is that probably we have to stop and go back to where we were. So society teach us a lot of things, but most of them, they're not helping us to get where we want to go. Most of them pull us back. So what he suggests me is try to unlearn, I don't know if it's the right word, everything I learned in all my life and go back to my spirit when I was a child. My child spirit, because the connection that the child has with environment, with nature, with people are incredible, because child can read your spirit. We can't, because we are polluted for all the information that we achieve growing up. And my mentor said, you have to go back to where you were, go back to be a child, clean your spirit, clean your soul, because when you connect yourself with the things around you, you are the best of yourself. Unfortunately, it's very hard to do now, but you can do it. It's the opposite of when they say, go to school, learn. We say, no, unlearn everything you learn and go back to where you were.
Wow. It's almost like you've probably heard this saying, nothing will fit in a glass that is already full. You have to take some water out. And that's how I feel sometimes, we come into this world of network marketing. We want to become successful in this new industry. And we have all these things that we've learned the whole of our life that we're pre-programmed for, but they don't really fit into the glass. So like you're saying, we got to take some stuff out, clean our spirit, go back to the joy, the motivation as a child, where we dream, where we believe that we can achieve anything. And, like you said, anything's possible from there. We can see the spirit of people, and we can really, from there, go anywhere we want. That's awesome. And so I have one last question, and then we have a series of very short questions that I'm sure you'll be really excited to answer. But my last question is really, if you were to start again today in network marketing, I know you've been in network marketing for a couple of years now. What would you do again? If you got started today, would you do anything different? And if so, what would that be?
First of all, start listening away from the people that show me the opportunity and they are to help me. So I can just cancel my mind and listen to them. Second of all, go to every single big event that is possible, because big event don't only double but triple the speed of growth in your team.
Okay, great, Paolo. So now for the final round, I just have some real high key questions that you can answer for me. So are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's go. So what are the 3 books that you would have every pajama boost have to read?
There's a lot of books that are amazing, but for me personally, the 3 books that really open my mind. The first one is The Secret. Second one is Secret of Millionaire Mind, Tia Becker, and the third one is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Fantastic. Great. I mean, those are some key books right there. Everyone, if you haven't read them, right, get on it. Now, next one. What are your three pajama bosses, trainers, speakers, or rock stars that you really adore and follow? And they're kind of mentors that perhaps, don't directly interact with you, but you listen and follow.
Uh, First of all, it's not in network marketing, but I love him. It's Tony Robbins, and it's his energy, its power is unbelievable. Second one, I love to listen to Jim Brown. Jim Brown is great. And third one, it's the one that probably changed me the most. It's TRX. Because I did all this seminar, all these personal development courses. For me, it's the one that changed me the most.
Fantastic. And right there, your personal development probably gave you such a, programming that you're now able to perform in your business so well. So that's exciting. So what about, share with us three passions that you have that we don't know about. What are your three passions? What do you love?
I love sports. Any kind of sports, really. I love every sport possible. I've been a cyclist, but I love watching every single sport. I love traveling. Traveling is for me the number one things. It's my biggest, all my dreams are most of them connect to travel. And the third thing, my passion is being challenged. I love challenge. I love feeling uncomfortable. I love when people bring me a position that I really have to push myself outside my comfort zone to get there.
And that passion will certainly get you further in this industry. Fantastic. And what about, you've shared some affirmations already, but do you have a favorite quote you want to share just here as we finish off?
Yeah, it means being happy doesn't mean to be perfect. Be happy means just behind the imperfection and be what you're doing.
The imperfect perfection. I love it. Awesome. And so just as we're finishing off, I really want to thank you to be here with us for Pajama Boss. What is some of the things you're excited for in the near future? You just shared with me you're going to be traveling to Hong Kong soon for a big event. What about some things you're working on in your business or in your life? What's coming up for you?
So I'm very excited. In a month time, we will be in Hong Kong to a big event. For the first time, I'm invited to a black tie. So I'm super excited for that. And second things, we are organizing a first worldwide event here in Australia for my network marketing company. So that one really is pushing me outside my comfort zone a lot. So very challenging and I loved it. And third things, really, I'm a bit jealous with you because I was looking at your picture. You were in Dallas in the 88 Stadium. It's that one of my dream. And because I'm a big fan of Dallas Cowboys. And looking at the pictures, I know that's one of the places I really need to be in there. So
fantastic. Well, I hope we can go sometime in the future together. It's certainly an amazing place to see and many others. And really, as we finish off here, Paolo, I really congratulate you. You've really stepped it up. Your success has truly started to arrive. Your team is having results. So, just want to wish all the best of you. Want to encourage everyone who's listening to us today to connect with you and be in touch. You're one of the up-and-coming stars and leaders here in the industry. So thanks again for your time, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.